Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we are on Today I Effed Up. Our first post is by Expensive Highland. Today I effed up by calling out another man's name while I slept. So my partner and I have been together for almost 4 years, and of course I love her. She is the woman I am going to marry and the only person I want to be with. Also, not that you'll believe me, but I am straight. While I consider myself an ally, I am not gay. I'm not opposed to the idea of bisexuality, but I'm just not into dudes like that, so I don't think I am. I just had a really great dream last night. Last night I had an epic romantic dream. It was some forbidden love where I was in love with a man. The dream was seriously like a movie. I mean, it was awesome. Nothing NSFW happened either. Well, unless you count passionate kissing as NSFW, but it wasn't a dirty dream at all. It was just romantic and epic. And I should be allowed to enjoy when my brain serves me movies at night. But where I effed up is that I apparently said the man's name out loud. I'll be honest, didn't even remember the dude's name, but my fiance sure did. She asked me about Julio and why I kept calling for him last night. I thought it'd be funny if I said, the man of my dreams, 'cause I mean technically true. But she did not seem amused, so I downplayed it a bit and didn't mention how much I enjoyed the dream. She didn't even like that joke. How would I tell her that I had an affair with a man in my dream? She then accused me of being closeted and said I needed to sort my stuff out, because dreams are what the subconscious wants or thinks, and insisted that it didn't sound like an innocent dream, which again, nothing sexual happened, other than passionate kissing, and also it was only a dream. And like I told her, I've had dreams where I am an actual elephant. I don't want to be an elephant. I don't know what her deal is, man. I hope she gets over it soon, 'cause Julio will sweep me of my feet LMAO. I was prepared to not even bring it up again, 'cause I figured maybe she needed to deal with something, since that reaction was very out of character for her. But she came up to me and apologized for overreacting. Turns out her first long-term relationship, 3 years, was very similar to ours, and the guy had even talked about proposing to her and having kids with her, but never did. He was in the closet for a good long while. She explained that near the end he would talk about a guy non-stop and mention his name while he slept, and would drop everything for the guy, even when they were out together. He eventually told her that he realized he was gay, that it was over, and that he had been cheating for months with the guy. She stopped dating seriously after that, until we met. She said that last night freaked her out, because even though she hadn't thought about what happened in years, she wasn't ready to go through it again. I reassured her that even if I was attracted to men, I would never step out of the relationship for a man or a woman, 'cause she is the only person I see a future in life with. She is, after all, the love of my life, and Julio is just some interesting himbo my brain created. But something great came out of it. Today, we started talking about our past relationships, which we never had really done. It was a lot of fun getting to know that side of her, and once the waters were cooled down and we were joking, I threw in a couple of quick jokes about my ex Julio and our epic adventures. We've laughed so much, it's been a great Sunday. Our next post is by Embarrassed Mouse. Today I effed up by not stretching for 30+ years and not listening to my body. I am not a very flexible guy. I was never even close to touching my toes, and I have been this way for most of my life, so I have just learned to live with it. I am also a pretty strong guy, and do a lot of heavy lifting, pretty physical jobs as well. So I usually get a sore back or sore muscles that I take muscle relaxers to help ease the pain until it goes away. Never really stretching to help ease the pain. This never really caused any issues until about 2 years ago, when it started getting painful around my waist when I wore a belt. I didn't really do anything about it, just learned to deal with it by not putting my belt on as tight around my waist. Everything was okay for a while until the muscles in my stomach started to really hurt for no real reason. My 2-year-old daughter had jumped on my stomach recently, and I just thought it was because of that. Still, I did nothing about addressing the issue. Then my lack of maintenance on my body finally caught up to me last September, right before I moved into a new house. It felt like every muscle on the right side of my body constricted and made it extremely difficult to walk, put on socks, or even turn in bed. Even feeling this way, I still just worked through the pain, not addressing the issue for a month, thinking the pain will just go away. I had to use the muscles in my legs in order to lift my leg up and down to walk, making the muscles super tense, and when I went to bed, those muscles twitched a lot as they relaxed. There was also a muscle behind my leg right below the glutes that made it feel like someone was taking a hot iron to the back of my leg, making it almost impossible to sleep. So after a month of this, I finally go to see a chiropractor Otto see if they can fix the issue. And after some very painful tests, she said my glutes were so tensed up that they were useless, and the muscles in my leg were trying to compensate for them. So she released all 3 glute muscles, which gave me instant but not complete relief. I next went to a physiotherapist to help further with my recovery. There she helped release more tensed up muscles until it wasn't too bad to walk anymore. Here's the thing, for the last 9 months of my life since it first became incredibly painful for me, there are still muscles giving me pain. However, I have figured out a solution. I have to twist my leg, body in a certain way to get that specific muscle to stretch, and once I get that painful feeling, I just stretch out that muscle aggressively, working through an immense amount of pain until that muscle is no longer painful. I have had to do that with every single muscle on the right side of my body because I still get pain. I am getting to the point now that it isn't as painful anymore, and I see a light at the end of the tunnel. But it has taken a lot of pain, effort, and stretching to get me to this point. Take my word of advice. Stretch, it is important to your health. Also, don't ignore warning signs. Our next post is by Too Bipolar to Be Sober. Today I effed up by getting catfished by a child. The title sounds terrible, and trust me it is. First off, I'm 30. I've never really posted long story form posts before, so I'm sorry if it's hard to read. I live alone and have only a few friends and sometimes just want to meet new people, and yes, I'm aware this is making things sound even worse. It all started by downloading an app that connects you to random people to text to but with profile pics. I met a few interesting people but no one who I actually carried on a conversation with until I met Emma, fake name. She was a cute-looking 21-year-old that had mental health issues just like me, and we connected. After talking for a while, she suggested we go to a different app. I said, sure, I'll give you my number and we can go to WhatsApp, but she said that felt too personal and suggested Discord, which I was fine with. We chatted every single day for a few weeks when she asked for my phone number and we switched to WhatsApp. My bipolar sent me manic as hell during this time, and Emma kept me in a routine. Made me try to sleep when she went to bed around 10 p.m. and woke me up every day at 7 a.m. This was honestly the worst my bipolar has ever treated me, and a random girl I met on a dating app kept me in a routine, got me off alcohol, made me promise I'd touch no drugs, and gave me a reason to smile every day. When the mania started fading, I got seriously attached, found out she had a drug problem, and promised I wouldn't leave if she tried to get clean. I supported her daily while withdrawals were really hard for her. It felt amazing to meet someone I shared interests with, where we could help each other fix our lives. I genuinely felt closer to this human than I had to anyone else in my life. We shared absolutely everything with each other, spoke for hours and hours every single day for 6 months. She saved my life during the worst mental health crisis I've ever had. She asked me to visit her. She lived in a country 500 kilometers away from me, but she seemed absolutely perfect in my eyes, so I agreed. I said next year, as I'd have to save for accommodation and flights or train. She said, oh no, that's fine, you can stay with my parents, so we set plans for December because we both loved winter. We flirted, shared non-actual pics, video chatted, once was on the phone for nearly 8 hours one day. Everything seemed absolutely amazing. She looked 21, so I had no worries there. She was the biggest confidence boost I've ever received. I thought she was really cute. We shared everything about our lives with each other, from trauma to the good things. I was genuinely happy for the first time in a long time. And then last week I received a message. I need to tell you something. I replied with, sure, go ahead. She replied with, I'm not 22 in August, I'm 15, please don't leave, I love you. I was shocked and felt disturbed and absolutely disgusted but also kind of heartbroken. I replied with, "Look, you know my age, I'm so sorry but I can't do this, I wish you all the best but I seriously don't want to go to prison, I wish you all the best, please keep the promise and stay clean from drugs but I have to go now." Blocked her number, Discord, and deleted her contact information. The worst thing is, I feel like I've lost someone really close to me. I have that horrible empty feeling inside, and it's awful, but this literal child was planning on having a 30-year-old stay at her parents' house with her in a few months, so I feel seriously creeped out and don't know how I didn't realize. She looked and acted like the age she told me she was. What the F, man? Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.